Hello everybody and welcome back once again for today's video of DIY investing. Last night I was doing some technical analysis on a couple altcoins and then I stepped over to the altcoin market cap and found an insane pattern that I wanted to share with you guys. Now once I first figured this out, it was kind of mind-blowing to me how closely it follows the altcoin market cap and the dominance of the market cap. When I first found this, I was just kind of paying attention to the bottoms of right before an alt season happens and what is the significance of these bottoms and what does it represent before we start the next profit cycle where altcoins rally and everybody makes a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? What I found here was that the Fibonacci sequence lines up almost identically with how the bottoms take place. And so for today's video, I'm going to be diving in, showing you guys this pattern and the setup that I found recently and applying it to how you can use it to find the potential bottom that we're waiting for inside of the altcoin market. If you guys like this video, do myself a favor by leaving a like, comment, and subscribing to my channel. If you guys want more of this awesome analysis, click the invitation link in the description of this video and there you're going to get access to my Discord server. The Discord has just over 100 members and I'm trying to bump that number up to 200, so get you guys following in there. Click the invitation link in the description of this video and there you're going to get access. Anyways guys, without further ado, let's jump right in the video today. Like I stated in the intro, last night I was doing some technical analysis on the altcoin market cap and the dominance, and I found a really awesome pattern that I wanted to share with you. So every time we bottom and we have a very explosive rally on the upside, altcoins rally and Bitcoin dominance falls off, we have this capitulation phase, right? And we're still waiting to see exactly where that's going to take us in this cycle that we're following right now. But what I wanted to share with you guys is the numbers that pop up here at the bottom of every cycle low. Now, the first one, we can see that dominance was at 3%, right? We can see the second one, dominance was at 5%. The third one, we can see dominance was at 8%. So keep in mind, guys, every time we hit one of these lows in dominance, we have an alt season. And so the low has been 3, 5, 8, and then right here, we had a low of 12.3, right? Now, this one is just a little bit different from what I wanted to share with you. So the big thing that I'm trying to point out for you guys that may not know what I'm even talking about right now, this is the Fibonacci sequence. This is like the mathematic equation of the Fibonacci, and really the start of that Fibonacci equation are the numbers 1, 3. There isn't a 1 technically. The first bottom took place at a 3, and so there's really not enough data to see that far back. But from our bottoms, we found a bottom at 3, 5, 9, or 3, 5, 8, and 12. Now the significance of this, and we'll show it over here, this is the Fibonacci equation. This is how it works. So it works by taking the first number, adding it to the second number, and that's your answer. So 0 plus 1 is 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 plus 2 is 5. 5 plus 3 is 8. 8 plus 5 is 13. And so on and so forth, right? So that's how the Fibonacci sequence actually works. Now, if you are not familiar with the Fibonacci sequence is basically the mathematics that govern life. I know that you've seen this before, whether it's on a seashell, whether it's on maybe like a plant or some fruit or something like that. Even inside of our own galaxy, we see this pattern. See there with the plant? And it's these mathematics that govern all of existence. And it not only governs existence, but that also applies to trading. We use the Fibonacci sequence inside of trading. We use it in a number of different ways. I personally like to use it as the Fibonacci extension tool, but this importance, like I said, is that this is the mathematics that govern life. Now, this equation here is the same equation, or almost identically the same equation, that the altcoins are following as in terms of when they bottom and then they start the next alt season, right? So, like I said, there is no 1s and 2s. It doesn't show enough data from that far back. We get our first bottom at 3, right? And then we got our second bottom at 5. And then we got our third bottom at 8. And we got our fourth bottom before alt season at 12. So we were at about 12.3 here. So we're just a little bit off, about one number shy of matching the Fibonacci sequence, but I want to point out the fact that it's not really always going to be identical, especially when you're trading. But the fact that it's even following it this closely really blows my mind. And so this is really why I was wanting to make this video today, is just the fact that the altcoin bottoms are following the Fibonacci sequence almost identically. Now the cool thing about that, even though we didn't hit 13 right here, let me share with you guys that if we compare all three of these lows right here, all three of these support levels that were touched, it does add up to 13. The average of these 3 points is 13, right? So even though the low is 12, the average of these 3 points right here is the cluster of support and resistance, comes out to equal 13. And so really, it shows you how close we are to still averaging that Fibonacci equation. And it really does just blow my mind to think how closely it is following it, because really all this means is that altcoins are fractaling out, and as they fractal out, as Bitcoin grows, as Bitcoin expands, because it all starts with Bitcoin. I can't stress that enough. All of the altcoins gain their value through Bitcoin and Bitcoin rising and the Bitcoin cycles. And so as Bitcoin goes in its cycle, as Bitcoin grows and develops into the thing that we see today, altcoins really just feed off of that momentum, right? Now, the cool thing about this is the fact that as altcoins feed off of that Bitcoin momentum, they're basically fractaling out in growth through the Fibonacci sequence. And that's just really cool to me, because really one of the first things I started learning when I got into trading was the Fibonacci sequence. And the Fibonacci sequence to me was my favorite aspect, because I thought about how it's the same mathematics that govern existence and how you can actually use it to trading. And I just thought, wow, that's a really cool, unique idea. And I think that it would actually make a lot of sense that it could be effective in trading. I think it's interesting to me how all of this just represents the growth and expansion of the altcoins and how it's just fractaling out that Fibonacci sequence. Now, with all that being said, this takes us to current day valuations. So if we take the Fibonacci sequence, we're currently here at 13. Now, 13 plus 8 equals 21. And so even though the graph doesn't show it, we can do basic math to understand that according to the cycle, from where we found a bottom thus far throughout all of the market cap history, we can come to the understanding that the next number in the sequence is 21. And so let's go over here and draw the 21, about right there, comes out to the next mathematic number inside of the Fibonacci sequence. So that brings us to 21. That is the next number inside of the mathematic equation of Fibonacci. So remember, let's start again and count. We had 3, 5, 8, 13, 12, whatever you want to call it. And now the next number is 21. And so this is what I'm watching for. And I really do believe that based off of the data provided to us thus far, I think that it would line up almost identically to how the Fibonacci is playing out. Now, it doesn't have to hit exactly 21 as shown here, as we hit 12 and not exactly 13. And so this real zone that I'm going to be watching for is probably going to be here at about 24 to 21, right in that range. I think that that's going to be the most prime time to really buy the bottom of the altcoin market cap as far as the dominance perspective goes. Now, my first target that I was watching here was right here, and we've hit that once, and we're really convincingly looking like we're going to sell through that. I talked about in my last video how some of the altcoins looked like they're setting up to drop off a little bit. Now, that would make a lot of sense that they would drop off a little bit and they would have more room to sell off, maybe to these critical lows of 21. And so this is kind of what I'm going to be watching out for with the dominance, but I really think it's important to note how thus far it's following the Fibonacci sequence, and how from there we still have a pretty significant drop to come until we do hit 21, if that really is going to be the case. It can always go different ways, but I just wanted to share with you guys this pattern because it really is cool to me that it is following it and has followed it thus far. Even if the cycle doesn't continue, the fact that the first start of altcoins, they grew using and fractaling out the Fibonacci sequence in the equation, it's just cool to me because that was one of my favorite parts of trading. when I first got into it. Now, really, that was all the analysis I had to share with you guys. I wanted to keep this video short and simple, just briefly talking over the pattern that I'm sharing with you. With all of that being said, to kind of tie together my thoughts, I would say that it's more likely than not that we're headed for a pretty significant crash inside of the alts. Now, let's go finish up this video by taking a look at the actual Bitcoin dominance. Now, if you guys remember from my last update, I talked about how my next target, if we could break out of about 70% Bitcoin dominance, about like right there. If we could break out the 70%, my next target was 76. Now, 76% is not quite our target if we're following the altcoin dominance. If it follows the Fibonacci sequence, that theoretically means that we will hit 79% in Bitcoin dominance. So that means that Bitcoin dominance still is going to go all the way up to here to 79. And I'll drop a line tool so that you guys know where that is. Now let's remove all of these ones, clear things up a little bit. So this would be our target here for the Bitcoin dominance. I don't know if it's going to go all the way up here. It doesn't have to follow Fibonacci identically, like I've said a couple times previously in this video. But it really is striking to me how it has the potential to actually follow this. And so just keep this pattern in mind. If you guys are somebody that follows the Bitcoin dominance and the altcoin dominance, I highly recommend that you should, because it is one of the most important indicators for knowing exactly how the altcoins are going to perform compared to Bitcoin and vice versa. And so I wanted to point this out. I've been paying a lot of attention to the Bitcoin dominance and the altcoin dominance, and I think that we're at a point where we're going to figure out exactly what's going to come from this. Are we going to be able to pierce from this 70% resistance that we have here? It's looking like we do have the potential. I mean, we did clear and have a confirmed support and resistance flip right here with this breakout move. And so really, it's all just zones, and we're consolidating inside of this zone. But with this most recent flip, I think that it is very possible that we could break up and out of this and go much higher than people are expecting. With some of the altcoins looking like they're going to fall, it has an extreme possibility in my eyes that it could follow this. So just keep that in mind. Anyways, guys, this was the video I had for you. This is all I had to share. If you guys found this video helpful, do myself a favor by dropping a like on the video and joining my Discord. Get as many people in there as we can. Want to grow that thing and get it as big as we possibly could. So thank you all so much. I will catch you in the next video. As always, peace out.